Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter.
This video is our Blue Bloods reaction for season 10, episode 16. The first 100 days, we have seen what Mayor Chase is up to. We have seen negotiations with Frank. We have seen Nikki Reagan Boyle back on the show again.
Right.
That was kind of a surprise. I actually was not expecting that at all leading into this.
I wasn't at all. It was a really nice surprise. This is one of my more favorite Erin episodes as well. There was some stuff that I really liked, and I loved the Danny case this week. So
I actually really liked everything. Like,
Yeah.
I'm my spirits are high. There's
it was
a
a
song.
good episode.
There's one thing I don't like that people are probably going to get mad at me for, but other than that, I really, really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Before we dive into it, though, if you do enjoy this discussion, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Should I just rip off the Band-Aid with what everyone is going to be mad at me for?
All right, I'll start it off so I can ease everybody into it. The thing we're going to start to talk about is Jamie and Eddie and the dog. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, so originally I was worried about this storyline because in the synopsis they made it sound like these two were gonna again be arguing over something else, and that turned out to not really be the case. So we had the storyline where Eddie found this dog, brought it back to the station, and the dog teared the place apart and made it look like basically the station got robbed. And her and Jamie were sort of back and forth a little bit about the dog, but there was no actual argument or them getting upset. It was more sort of a, listen, we're both on the same page about the dog, we both love the dog, but can we actually make it work? Let's try to figure it out. I like this storyline. It was nice to see them both bonding over this dog. Then, of course, it comes at the end that they are not going to bring the dog home, but this is going to be the station dog. So they're still going to have an opportunity to be with this dog and enjoy the dog who clearly loves them. And then, take it away, Matt. I know what you're mad about.
Why are you naming the dog Jamko? Okay, so I'm not mad that they didn't name it Lieutenant Bark, which I stand by
Oh,
as the
I'm kind
greatest.
of mad about that. I think that was a really good name.
They couldn't fast forward in time to when I said that, so I won't be mad at them about it. Though you should still rename him Lieutenant Bark. But anyway, Jamko. That is Jamie and Eddie. That is not the dog. The dog is something separate. Also, you already made Jamko canon last season at around the wedding, so you're telling me that situation where the Jamko name comes out, that somehow all these cops are also going to be aware of the Jamko name and they're going to put it together, because this is not really... It's not the same as a lot of other ship names where you're combining two first names or something like that. You're combining Jamie's first name with Eddie's last name. This is not something everyone would think about, and I understand this is the most stupid and nitpicky argument that I'm ever going to have on this.
No, I actually agree. At first, when I saw the name, I was like, wait a second, no, that is for Jamie and Eddie, and it is not for this dog.
Yeah.
And I started to kind of get that same sort of feeling. And then I was like, okay, I get what they're trying to do. Obviously, the show is trying to nod the hat at this, and we get it, but they have done it already.
Yeah.
So I think they could have given the dog some sort of a clever little name, like a Lieutenant Bark or something police related, because this isn't just their dog. It is now the station dog, and it's everybody's dog. And I get that they brought the dog in, but it is now still everybody's dog.
Like I said, I'm partially just being silly. I mean, in the end, it's cool that Blue Bloods is actually paying attention to what their fans like, and they're thinking, okay, let's do something in honor of our fans. I'm never actually going to be upset about that, but, could have had a cooler name. But anyway, I won't dwell on it.
All right, so let's talk about the Danny and Baez story, because this was awesome. I really liked this. It felt like it was completely fleshed out, and we haven't had a lot of cases where they just feel completely fleshed out. And I think the thing that helped with this was that really Jamie and Eddie didn't necessarily really have a case. They had the stuff with the dog. Then we had Erin, and Erin didn't really have a case. She had the stuff that was going on with the car crash and Eddie and stuff, and Nikki coming back. So we had 2 more personal stories that were just an ongoing arc sort of feel to them. So they didn't need to necessarily get all wrapped up at one time. So then we had this case going on, and it felt like it had a proper beginning. It had a nice juicy middle going on when we had Danny yelling in the face hole and getting all recorded and everything. It was so good. I loved it. It was my favorite Danny and Baez case of the season, and it's not close.
It's not all that often that I really find stories on Blue Bloods to be funny in general. It's not really a comedic show, but the stuff with Danny yelling in and him being sort of mocked on the like, that was actually legitimately funny.
Yeah, no, I was laughing. It was pretty funny. They did a really good job with it. And I liked, and again, even this case was just more personal because it was happening to their car and it was happening to everybody's car, and there was a lot more just personal touches in this, and it made for a great story.
I would rather have stuff like this where, like, maybe Danny is just dealing with some local jerk faces in the community and he kind of becomes, like, grumpy old man Danny for, like, a certain part of the... I would rather have this than sort of a typical case of the week, because I like it when Danny is grumpy. I think it gives me life. His anger is my energy.
It was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot of that. And, you know, I really enjoyed the Erin stuff too, because it was heartfelt. It was different. I like how they included Jack in it. It wasn't a big role for him this time, but it accomplished what the show needed it to.
Yeah, it did. And I mean, we don't always get a window into how Erin's feeling in general. She's pretty closed off about a lot of stuff, and it seems like she's been holding on to this hurt about what happened with Jack for a long time, and now that this car crash had happened and it sort of gave her that moment of pause to decide, sort of that life flashing before your eyes, what are the things you wish you had said, what are the things you need to say, what are the things you wish you could change. And clearly Jack came to the forefront of her mind. So, I mean, her going over there and saying, listen, you really hurt me. Yeah, okay, that's good. You got that out there. That is something that needed to be said, especially if these 2 characters are ever going to have a shot of moving on. This discussion needed to happen. So I'm glad that it did.
I'm really happy that moment happened. I'm really happy for the stuff with Erin and Nikki, to sort of see how Nikki is doing, and she seems to be doing fairly well. I don't know if this is I don't know if we're going to suddenly see Nikki again on a regular basis again after this. It doesn't seem like she's moved back. It's just she's in town now.
Yeah, but at least they mentioned that they hadn't spoken in a week, and that's a long time. And what we'd been both saying that we were really hoping this show would do was give us even just a passing line of dialogue to know that Nikki didn't just move away and then no one's ever heard from her again, because that's what it's felt like. Even just, oh, I just got off the phone with Nikki. Oh, how's she doing? Good. Okay, great. Let's all move forward, sort of thing. So hearing that when they're FaceTiming, oh, yeah, I haven't spoken to you in a week. Oh, it feels like forever, because clearly they talk more. And that's good.
Yeah, it was good to have just the connection between the 2 again, and just sort of get an update on what's going on with Nikki, that it's not all falling apart on the other side of the country, because that's kind of what I worried about.
Yeah, and it was nice that she finally came back, and it was good to have this meal with the 3 of them, and have this sort of last bit of time with Jack and Erin, where Jack apologized for his part in everything that happened and hurting her as badly. And even just sort of that last moment where Erin was kind of like, everything's okay. This is what I need. Everything's going to be okay, with that big smile on her face. People out there that are shipping these 2, it feels like kind of we're moving back into this direction again. There's been forgiveness. There is some healing going on. There can be forward movement.
I also just think now that Erin's in a place where she's got some resolved things from her past.
Yep.
She's unburdened.
Yep.
She can run for DA. I don't think it's directly connected, but I think it
agree.
is. It's something that could push her in that direction if we're building towards a larger Erin storyline, which I am all for. I am also all for Frank getting on and over the old Mayor Chase here, and I actually did find the scene at the end of this to be kind of funny too, where Frank was sort of like, the mayor offers him 1,000 more cops, and Frank's like, "Yep," and then the mayor's just like, "That's less than you wanted," and he was like, "Yeah, I'll still take the 1,000." It almost felt like this elaborate thing was just a big hoodwink operation on Frank's part, where he knew from the start he wasn't going to get as many cops as he wanted.
Yeah, but he was going to get something, and he just knew he had to stand up for something. But that conversation between Frank and the mayor was really good. It felt like a nice sort of ping pong back and forth between them before we finally got to the end where the mayor's like, "All right, I'll give you 1,000. He's like, "All right. What do you mean, all right?" "Well, I'm fine with that. So if I just offered you 1,000, we would have been all right? Maybe."
I love that he
Frank.
They didn't even give him any answers to that. Frank gave him zero help to the mayor whatsoever in this episode, and I was kind of very, very happy about that. Somebody needs to put Frank on Survivor at this point, because somebody will be like, "Oh, do you want to work with me? Maybe." And then they'll all feel like join an alliance and then get rid of somebody, but they'll make some big offer. They'll be like, "Here, I need to give you this immunity idol for you to join the alliance." Then Frank afterwards will be like, "Oh, I would have joined your alliance anyway." Frank Reagan, you would be sole survivor.
Yeah, no. And he was here anyways. He got what he wanted.
Yeah.
It was good. I also like the exchange with Garrett, and I can't remember her first name, but I remember her last name, Power. What an awesome name. He's just like, "Really? Really? Your last name is Power?" No answer. I'm like, I don't know who she's going to end up being on this show going forward, if it's going to have a bigger role for her, but she's pretty good.
Can we have, if Lieutenant Bark is not going to be at the precinct, can Power and Lieutenant Bark be a duo? That is a name for a Blue Blood spinoff I can get behind.
Yeah.
All right, well, we enjoyed episode 16 of season 10, one of our favorites in a while.
Yeah, it was good.
But what did you guys think? Did you enjoy it like we did? Share in the comments, and if you did like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.